Have you ever wondered why trucks, buses, and heavy construction machines almost always use diesel engines, while most family cars run on gasoline? At first glance, both engines seem to do exactly the same job. They burn fuel, create power, and move a vehicle forward. But behind the scenes, they work in completely different ways. Today, we're going to compare gasoline and diesel engines to discover which one is more powerful, more efficient, and which one is the better choice for different drivers. Before comparing them, let's understand what both engines are trying to achieve. Every internal combustion engine converts the chemical energy stored inside fuel into mechanical energy. That mechanical energy pushes pistons up and down, spins the crankshaft, and eventually turns the wheels of the vehicle. While both gasoline and diesel engines share this same goal, the way they ignite fuel is completely different. A gasoline engine first mixes air and gasoline before the mixture enters the cylinder. As the piston moves upward, the mixture is compressed. At exactly the right moment, the spark plug produces a tiny electrical spark. That spark ignites the mixture, creating a controlled explosion that forces the piston downward and generates power. This process repeats hundreds of times every minute while the engine is running. A diesel engine follows a different approach. Instead of mixing fuel with air before compression, it compresses only air inside the cylinder. The pressure becomes so high that the air temperature rises dramatically. Then diesel fuel is injected directly into the hot compressed air. Because the air is already extremely hot, the fuel ignites automatically without the need for a spark plug. One of the biggest differences between these two engines is the compression ratio. A gasoline engine typically compresses the air-fuel mixture between 8 and 12 times its original volume. A diesel engine, however, compresses only air, and it can squeeze that air up to 22 times. This much higher compression creates enough heat to ignite diesel fuel naturally, without needing a spark plug. Higher compression also allows diesel engines to extract more energy from every drop of fuel. If you've ever seen a truck pulling a massive trailer or a tractor working in a field, you've already witnessed diesel's greatest advantage: torque. Torque is the twisting force that helps a vehicle move heavy loads from a standstill. Diesel engines generate much more torque at lower engine speeds, allowing them to carry heavy cargo without struggling. That's exactly why almost every large truck, bus, bulldozer, and excavator relies on diesel power. While diesel engines dominate in torque, gasoline engines usually produce more horsepower at higher engine speeds. Horsepower is what gives a vehicle quick acceleration and higher top speeds. That's why sports cars, racing vehicles, and many passenger cars almost always use gasoline engines. If you enjoy fast acceleration and responsive driving, gasoline engines often provide a more exciting experience. Fuel efficiency is another area where diesel engines often have the advantage. Diesel fuel contains more usable energy than gasoline, and diesel engines waste less of that energy as heat. As a result, diesel-powered vehicles usually travel farther on the same amount of fuel. For drivers who cover long distances every day, this difference can save a significant amount of money over the life of the vehicle. Years ago, diesel engines had a reputation for being loud and rough. Their distinctive knocking sound became one of their most recognizable features. Modern diesel technology has improved dramatically, but gasoline engines are still generally quieter, smoother, and produce less vibration. That's one reason many people prefer gasoline vehicles for daily city driving. Maintenance is another important factor to consider. Gasoline engines are usually simpler and less expensive to repair. Diesel engines, on the other hand, use high-pressure fuel injection systems, turbochargers, and advanced emissions equipment. These components improve performance and efficiency, but they also make repairs more expensive if something goes wrong. Diesel engines are built to withstand much higher compression and greater mechanical stress. Because of this, many diesel engines are designed with stronger internal components, such as thicker engine blocks, stronger crankshafts, and heavier pistons. With proper maintenance, it's common for diesel engines to last hundreds of thousands of kilometers before requiring major repairs. Starting an engine in freezing weather presents different challenges. Gasoline engines usually start quickly because the spark plug ignites the fuel regardless of temperature. Diesel engines depend on heat created by compression, so very cold weather can make starting more difficult. That's why many diesel vehicles use glow plugs to help warm the cylinders before starting. Environmental impact is another major difference. Gasoline engines generally produce more carbon dioxide because they burn more fuel. Diesel engines use less fuel, but they can emit higher levels of nitrogen oxides and tiny particles known as particulate matter. Modern diesel vehicles reduce these emissions with advanced filters and exhaust treatment systems, making them much cleaner than older diesel engines. Buying a diesel vehicle usually costs more upfront. However, lower fuel consumption can help recover that extra cost over time, especially if you drive long distances every year. For drivers who only commute short distances around town, the fuel savings may never fully offset the higher purchase price and maintenance costs. So, which engine is actually better? The answer depends entirely on how you use your vehicle. If you want smooth performance, lower maintenance costs, and enjoyable daily driving, a gasoline engine is an excellent choice. But if you regularly travel long distances, tow heavy loads, or value maximum fuel efficiency and durability, a diesel engine is difficult to beat. Neither engine is universally better, they're simply designed for different purposes. Understanding those differences is the key to making the right choice. Thanks for watching. Which engine would you choose, gasoline or diesel? Tell us in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for more easy-to-understand comparisons about engines, machines, and technology. See you in the next video.